Hello everybody, this is my third and last video on my instructions on how to install a live stream server using nginx on Ubuntu 18.04. First I want to say, in my previous video I made an error because I mentioned there that I'm going to install Ubuntu 18.04, but what I ended up doing was install 16.04 without me even realizing it while I was doing it. I must have overlooked it or something. So there's that. It doesn't really matter in the end because all of the instructions that I show in that video are exactly the same on Ubuntu 18.04. So it's just a fact that 16 was installed, but it doesn't make any difference. So if you follow those instructions, you're good. So we ended our last video by doing some things like enable a root account and install the latest updates and stuff like that. Enable SSH access from a remote location. So we're going to log in now from that remote location, which is actually also our PC. Let's see, putty. Now I did get another IP address after reinstalling, or actually installing the correct version, and I believe it's 159. Whoops. Let's see. Yeah, it's 159 because I get a response, so that means it works. As you can see, I'm able to log in using the root account if I type the correct password, that is. I made another typo. Christ. There. And as you can see here, it is actually Ubuntu 18.04, so we're good. Okay, let's see where to start. Nginx requires some files, some other apps for it to run properly, and also for it to do some streaming itself, and it uses FFmpeg. Alongside with that, I'm going to install many codecs also, like the AC one and the Vobis, just several codecs. You don't really have to pay attention to what is getting installed. The list of which I'm going to paste right now can also be seen or either in the description below, or I'm thinking about posting on a URL there to my own website and just put all the steps in there so you can easily copy and paste them. Yeah, so you don't make any typos, because that happens. Copy, apt install, and then we're going to install all these apps. Oh wow, that's almost 1 GB of extra storage it will require. Okay. Now installing the prerequisites. That's a difficult word for me to pronounce. In other words, the requirements for nginx. That's what it's doing now. After this, we're going to add the repository of the developers of nginx itself, because if we install it without doing that on Ubuntu, it will use the repositories that are maintained by Ubuntu itself. But we want to install a more recent version, and we do that by installing this repository. After that, we're going to update the repositories and install nginx. Then we're going to use git to clone the repository files of the author of the RTMP module, because it contains a file that we need to set up a statistics page, a web page that shows us who is streaming and what's happening, and I'll show you guys later. And we just need that one file from the repository, so that's why we're going to download it. Then we're going to create a crossdomain.xml file as advised by Adobe, and this will make sure that if you, for example, you have one website with a certain domain name and you want to stream from a different domain name, then that might sometimes cause some issues, and this file should prevent that. I see it's done with installing already, so like I said, we're going to first add the repository like this, and you'll have to press enter also. Yeah. Then apt update it. Then we're going to install nginx. Yep, and it's installing some additional required software. Then we're going to install the module. It's called libnginx mod RTMP. Alright, that also goes quickly. Now we're going to download the Git. So also copy it from my text file. It's this one. Now it's cloning it into the folder usr_src. And in here should be a stats file. Yeah, stat.xsl. This one is the one we're going to copy to our HTML folder, which is located here. Stat.xsl. Huh? Oh. You see, one typo and things won't work if you do it like this on Linux. Then we're going to install or create actually the XML file cross domain. In this folder also. Yeah, so nano cross domain.xml. Copy this into it and save it. Alrighty, then we're going to edit the main configuration file of, oops, I didn't save it yet. The main configuration file of nginx, so the core configuration, and we can find that in this folder. It's called nginx.conf, whatever. So edit that one. Well, we're just going to start from the top. This worker processes string, it's set to auto. We're going to set it to 1 because the RTMP part of the web server doesn't run well with more processes. First off, we're going to add all the way at the end of the file RTMP. This will be the block that configures the RTMP server. I'll also be copy pasting that one from here. And I'm going to explain what it actually does. Oh. Yeah. So listen on 1935. That is the port on which it listens. So if you stream to it and your streaming server address starts with RTMP, then it automatically knows that it's going to use this port. But you can also add it manually if you want, or if you want a different port, it's also possible, but then you also have to include that different port number in the address that you will stream to. Just leave it at default. If you want your server to be accessible from the outside world, so from the internet, receive streams from other people, for example, then you have to open this port on your router. This string, application live, this is what sets the application, and this will be actually the first thing you have to write after your server address, so slash and then live. Everything regarding the stream will be sort of collected in that subfolder. It's not really a folder; it's a virtual place, but I'll show you later, and you'll get what I'm trying to explain. This will allow, if you don't want anybody else on your local network to use your stream server, you can remove this, and then replace this one with the local IP address for your network. So that's probably different than this. Might be the same, but I don't know. I advise you to look it up yourself. And then actually add that one to allow publish all, and remove this one from deny publish all. Wait, I'm not showing correctly. Like this. It will allow those IP addresses to stream, and then it will deny all other people. But in this case, it's just an example. I'll allow publish all, so everybody can stream from my local network, that is. And these 3 strings are very important. These will make sure that your live stream that goes to the server gets forwarded or pushed, is that how to call it, to Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. But and this is very important, you have to change what is written here, because as you can see, this last part, it says live stream key. You will have to enter your own personal live stream key there, and you can look it up at the websites of Twitch and YouTube and such. I'm not going to fill in my live stream key because first I want to be testing if if the streaming works at all, and afterwards, whenever I know that certain that everything's working fine, then I will remove the hashtags from this line and enter the correct live stream key. But not in this video because I don't want to show you my live stream key, guys, because I don't want you guys to stream under my name. No, I don't. So we're going to leave this disabled for now, and we'll get back to this one soon. I think I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, of course. This file can be saved. Now that was the main configuration file of nginx. There's also a second configuration file, and that describes the different web addresses. For example, you have one web server and it hosts a website on its IP address and on a domain name and perhaps a different domain name, but it will point to a different website. So you need different files in this folder, sites enabled. They are called virtual hosts, but we only have one file here, and that's the default. So that's the only one we'll have to work with. If you want to add more, I'm not going to explain how that works. You should, oops, wait. Should look it up. Look into that yourself. Oh, come on, default. In my case, I have to disable this string, or I'll get an error message. This is all pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, it's a nice example. What I'll be doing now is adding a couple of lines that will allow us to see the statistics page of the stream server. If I can find it. Ah, here it is. And also a control module, which is used if you want to, for example, start recording your live stream. You can do that from a web page. You'll need the control module. Let's see where I can put it. Yeah. Let's put it here. Paste it. Location stat, yeah, that's right, that's correct. Check the folder, also good. Oops. I'm not actually going to use the control part yet, so disable that, just maybe for security reasons, or control X, yes, enter. Now we're going to test to see if the configuration files that we edited are in order, and it says it's successful, so that's good. We didn't make any errors there. If you did make an error, perhaps even just one typo, this command will show you what is wrong on which line in which configuration file. But since everything is okay, we're going to restart the nginx server, and yeah, now it should work actually. So let's try it out. I use Streamlabs OBS to stream. I'm actually live, what the hell? Well, that was unintended. Probably my previous attempt. Yeah, you see, yeah. Okay, so this is 159 and then /live. Always enter /live here, like I explained earlier. And for the stream key, normally you would enter a personal private key there for like Twitch, for example. But in our case, we're going to add stream, or call it whatever you want. For example, desktop or cam or whatever you want. If we will want to play the live stream later on, we'll have to actually use the address like this, but don't enter that right here. Enter it like this, so /live and then there type stream. Press OK, and then yeah, let's see what it will do. If it starts running here and shows some numbers, then we should be good. And yeah, we can check it out on this web page. So 9 stat. Yeah, this is the statistics page, and as you can see, there's a stream incoming. This one. This is my desktop computer that I'm on right now. That's the source address. And it seems to be going fine. See if it keeps running. Yeah. To test to see if the playback works like it should, I'm going to use Pod Player, but VLC is also possible. Many people know VLC. I prefer Pod Player. You need a player that can open URLs, so network locations. So yeah, media player doesn't do that. As you can see, the address to open it is what I explained earlier, live/stream. Let's see. We should see a matrix rain in a second. Oh, right. Let's try that again. And we're back. So what I did was I rebooted the server. So let's try again. I just got bitten by a mosquito. Damn it. Hate those animals. Open URL. Still good. Let's see what happens now. I think that's gonna be the matrix. I hope. This is taking too long. I don't like this. What's going on? Stop it and start again. It's weird. It acts like it's going to play a live stream because it maximizes the window and it shows that it's want to show something, but nothing happens. That's really quite strange. Oh, wait. Maybe that helps. You see? Okay. So now I know what the problem was before. Anyways, as you can see, playing the live stream from a player works. So we're good and we're ready to set up the live stream keys in our configuration file. So to do that, let's open up oh wait, and then nano, yeah, configuration all the way down to these lines, and I can't tell you where to look up those keys, but you have to look up for it on the website of, for example, Twitch and YouTube and Mixer. All of them, they will provide you with a live stream key that you will need to use their platform when you want to use their platform. So enter it here. I believe YouTube uses, Twitch uses a pretty long key. I'm just entering something random now. YouTube uses something with dashes, I believe. And this one, I don't know, can't remember. Then remove these hashtags. Save the file. Test the configuration. All good. Restart the web service. See if it's running. Seems to be running fine. So if we start the live stream now again, oh wait, I gotta stop it first. If I would start my live stream now again, it will start pushing the live stream towards Twitch and YouTube and Mixer. Please just wait with doing this until you are certain that everything works fine, because you don't want to start streaming and people will get a notice actually on Twitch if you go live, at least the people that follow you. So they'll start watching, and when you're still messing around with settings and stuff, you don't want that. So make sure everything runs. Use the player for playback to see if the live stream also plays in pod player or VLC. And if that's the case, and you added the live stream keys in your configuration file, then you're ready to start streaming. So that concludes our video, and I hope you liked it. And if you did, give me a thumbs up, please, and maybe subscribe even. Yeah, subscribe. Do that. That's a good idea, because I'll be making more videos like this or similar like this in the near future. So if you want to see what I have to make, yeah, you gotta subscribe.